Emily as far as your news this week. She is on a little bit of vacation, like a lot of people are with fall break, but we'll do the best we can. We'll navigate through the week. Steve's out, Emily's out, several other people are out this week on fall break, but we welcome you into our broadcast this afternoon, Mix 104.1 and also MixTV.tv, as we're going to talk with our friends from the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library. They got a special event coming up. We've got a musical, a comedy drama with music is what we're saying that it is. And to tell us all about it is the person who wrote this and directed it. Connie Gatlin is going to be joining us. And then also, for the first time, I've met Margaret Scheck. Did I get your name right, Margaret? Did I get it right?
Congratulations. You're one of the few that said my name correctly the first time.
All right. So that don't happen very often, Margaret.
No, it doesn't.
So I appreciate it. Well, we'll start off with you, Connie. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon, gorgeous. I'm well. Thank you so much.
You know, I'm going to have to keep you around because you're about the only person that calls me gorgeous. So that don't happen every day for me. So I appreciate the compliment. But tell me a little bit about what we're, of course, the Cleveland Bradley Public Library, they're celebrating their centennial 100 years.
Yes, indeed.
There's events going on all year long.
Yes,
and this is one of those events. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, this is an event that was planned in the works for a couple of years, and it is a play with music that we have written based on the stories of the people who helped to make our library the great institution that it is. And some of the stories are a little funny, and some of them are a little quirky. But we think Cleveland can really benefit from hearing this story and getting to know these folks who are no longer with us, but have been an important part of our library.
It's called The Gift and Those Who Gave. So
Yes.
I really, really like the name. We're going to give people an opportunity to learn about the times and the dates and all that stuff coming up in just a minute. Margaret, tell me a little bit about your take on this. What are the feelings you have when we start talking about this?
Well, I've been involved in a voluntary capacity at the library for probably 7 or 8 years. And when we realized that, oh my goodness, we're going to celebrate a 100-year anniversary, I became the chair of the committee, and this was in 2022, January. And so we have a committee that has about, probably 25 people on it in all capacities in Bradley County. And so we put together, starting in January with Proclamation Day, January of 2023, and we had a wonderful event at the History Branch. Had probably a couple of hundred people there to celebrate that. Then we went on and we had a birthday party for the children. Then we had a Comic-Con, which you dress up as your favorite character, and that was for the young people. We had a Mother's Day tea at the History Branch. And so all of this time, Connie is writing and researching the history of the library. And with help from Margot Steele.
Yes,
and
Marie.
Yeah, and Barbara Fagan.
Mm-hmm.
And so after a year and a half, she has this script, and so we're ready to put it on.
That's awesome.
We approached Lee University, who is such a great partner to the library, and they agreed to let us use Dixon Center for an entire week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very special.
It is.
And our foundation, the Public Library Foundation, has paid for every event all year. None of these events have cost the citizens of Bradley County one dime. And that's the same thing with the play.
Mm-hmm.
The play's going to be free to anyone who wants to come, with the stipulation that you have a library card.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, the library card can be from anywhere, and as a matter of fact, we'll have people in the lobby that night that are issuing library cards if you do not have one. But it can be from any place in the world. You just show a library card, and if you're a student, all you have to do is show your student ID, because of course that gets you into the library at your school. We want to highlight how important the libraries are to our communities. I mean, it opens your eyes to the world. And so this is the bang up last event, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I hope you'll come because we show, our library system is the most iconic library in the state of Tennessee because we have 3 buildings that were built in the 1800s. How would you like to keep up 3 buildings?
I can't keep up my house that was built 10 years ago.
Well, the city and the county has certainly helped us with that, but
Sure.
there's always something. But there's no other library in Tennessee like the Cleveland Bradley Library.
I agree with you there.
And so we want to highlight that. And we want everybody to come and see Sarah Tucker Johnston, who her family gave the History Branch, Joe Stewart, who gave the Jarnigan House, and Alan Jones, who gave the Craig Miles House. So we have Carmichael, excuse me. Thank you, Connie.
There's a lot to keep up with.
There truly is.
You can always get Connie. She's going to keep you on tap.
Well, you're right. But these are stories told humorously with dance and song. But we want people to come out knowing what the history of our libraries are.
Again, Margaret Scheck. See, I knew I was going to mess it up because you gave me kudos the first time. Margaret Scheck is here with us, and also Connie Gatlin. We're talking about a comedy, drama / musical with music. I should maybe not musical.
It's a play with music.
A play with music about the history of the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library that's coming up. Let's go ahead and talk about the dates here so people can start putting the plans together. I know it's coming up toward the end of the month, but it'll be here before we know it.
It is actually next weekend, Dwayne.
Is it next weekend
it is
already?
October 20 and 21. Friday and Saturday evenings at 7 and Saturday matinee at 2 in the afternoon. Once again, it's free, just with a library card or student ID. It's not a long production. The show runs right at an hour and a half.
Okay.
We have some great local performers, faces you have seen before on stage, carrying on and having a good time. We've had a really good time developing a theme, developing a story, connecting these important, primarily women. There were 3 important women in this process, as well as Mr. Jones. So, learning the history, grasping the history, putting it all in a bowl and stirring it up and coming out with a play was a challenge, but I have loved it. Everybody seems to be responding well to it. So we think Cleveland will enjoy it.
It is coming up. Again, man, you said October the 20th. You look at the calendar, you think, well, that's still a few weeks away, but it's not.
No.
So I'm glad you ladies are here today. We got to get on the stick.
It's next week.
Next week.
You don't know how much we've got to get on the stick, does it, Connie?
But it's Friday night, October the 20th, a week
Yes.
from this Friday.
Yes.
And then we've got Saturday, October the 21st, 2 shows that day.
Yes.
A matinee at 2 and then 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yes,
At
indeed.
the Lee University Dixon Center. As Margaret so graciously said, the Dixon Center offered this up for the week for you guys to get prepared and get ready for these showings. So we hope that you'll come out. It's called The Gift and Those Who Gave, written and directed by Connie Gatlin. So that is pretty cool. That's really all we should have to say, and people should just be there.
That's very kind, Dwayne. The check's in the mail.
The check's in the mail. But we hope that people will come out. Again, and Margaret, does this kind of conclude the year-long celebration of the 100th anniversary?
Yes, of the public events it does, and we're just so pleased that the citizens of Bradley County have enjoyed the events that we've put on this year, and that's all ages.
Right.
Because our library is there for all ages, not just children and not just students. I mean, I can't tell you how often I'm at the library checking out books, and we still check out books.
Yep.
Getting movies, it's just a wonderful resource. I was going to travel to a particular country and had to go to the library and check out some facts there.
Right.
Google doesn't always tell you everything you want to know.
Yeah, and there's nothing more appealing for you listen to a lot of people talk. They're like, just especially when we're getting to the time of the year where it's a little cool, cuddle up with a blanket, whether it's inside or outside on the back porch when it gets a little warmer in the afternoons, and just diving into a book.
Well, did you know that we have a new librarian? Did
Yes.
you know that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Go ahead and tell
Yeah.
us about all this.
Andrew Hunt just retired with
Yep.
almost 30 years of service to our library, and our new librarian is Keisha Parks.
Yes, we love Keisha.
Oh, she's delightful.
Yes.
Much loved. And she has been our children's librarian for 12 years. And so she was chosen to be our new overall librarian. So now she's involved in choosing a new children's librarian. But we're
they
just
came
so
in a couple
pleased
of
with
weeks
that.
ago, and they
good.
made that announcement here
Okay, good.
about that transition that was going on, and so gracious. Yeah, to me, it's a perfect fit that Keisha is going to be in that role. She is such a joy, and besides Connie, nobody has a better smile than Keisha, right?
That's true. That's true.
Is that another check?
That's
Mike?
another check. I'm keeping a tally over here, Connie. But Margaret, you mentioned something else.
Only the Fan is getting you ready for the National League Division Series. And
There we go. We've been having trouble with our computer today. In case you can't tell, it's just been doing strange stuff like that where it just starts playing. I mean, it'll just like that. Something's getting us because I couldn't even find the volume knob to turn it down. It was on a channel we never even use. But anyway, back to the interview. Sorry about that, folks. That's just that little gremlin I was talking about earlier on the air that's gotten into our computer today. They didn't take fall break off. They're still ruckusing around in there. But what I was going to ask you, Margaret, you were kind of alluding to it a little bit. There's a lot that goes on at the library besides just checking out books, and there's things that the community can partake in, like the bookmobile that's on the go. Kind of tell us a little bit about some of these other things that people don't understand what all goes into what the Cleveland Bradley Public Library is all about.
We're one of the few libraries in Tennessee that still run a bookmobile.
Right.
And that bookmobile goes out to the outer counties, out into the country around Bradley County, and they go to some of the senior citizens' homes, some of the daycare facilities, and the bookmobile is loaded with the different kinds of books that people want to read. We also have a wonderful children's section at the library that's just devoted for children with their own computers that they can work. And of course, we have everything else, fiction, whatever you need at the library. One thing that I've had to use a couple of times is when we didn't have the book that I really wanted, you can talk to one of the librarians and they can reach out to other libraries in the state and get it shipped in for you.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
free
think I
of
knew that.
charge,
Yeah.
free of charge. But we're so fortunate. We've got a great library. And when we had our proclamation day, Secretary of State Trey Haggart, I think I said it's talking about a name.
Yeah.
Anyway, he mentioned in his talk that we were one of the few libraries in the state of Tennessee that was doing very, very well. We've got a lot of libraries in the state of Tennessee who's not being supported as they should be. So we've got to count our blessings.
You know, we talked about the bookmobile and the thing that when I was just kind of, before I usually do an interview, I just kind of like to go to websites and kind of check things out a little bit to make sure I'm not missing something. But when I went to the calendar there on the website of the Cleveland Bradley Public Library, I mean, there's just something going on all the time.
Yes.
There was exercise classes on there, right?
Yeah.
For adults. And I liked how you had the little codes out there. This was for adults only, children, family friendly. I mean, it kind of gave you the layout there where you knew if you were looking for something particular, you knew if it was an adult type function or if it was a family function. So you guys do a wonderful job with everybody that's a part of that. And really, if you haven't ever checked it out before, you should go check out that website. go through the calendar of events. And I think you probably would need to check it pretty regularly because
It changes.
it changes.
Yes.
There's probably things on there.
Absolutely. And we've got I don't know if you know about the Book Nook there, which is run by the Friends of the Library organization. And I know that when I'm finished with a book and I don't want to keep it in my library at home, I take it to the big library here and just give it to them. They put it in the Book Nook, they sell it, and that money then goes to the children's section.
Okay.
So that's Friends of the Library, and they have programs throughout the year, and the money goes to the library.
Just wonderful things. Again, go and check that out. Go to the website. I believe you'll find something there for you. And a lot of times we think that the library is either for small kids or for seniors, but there really is something there for every age group and every age range.
And I haven't even talked about the history branch, which is it's the star.
Yeah.
Because that's where we keep all of the histories of Bradley County. And I know that Margot Steele has classes about researching your roots, and she shows you how to do that. And she has a lot of the facilities there to help people, help individuals. I know that my husband was looking for a book written by Colonel Corn recently, and they had it at the history branch. We've got a wonderful library
It is
system.
an outstanding organization, and I'm nothing if not thematic. If you are a member of this community, you need to realize that this organization is a gift to you, and most everything is free. But see, that just ties right into the gift.
The gift, yeah.
The title of this production. Excuse me, I can't help myself sometimes.
Yeah,
just
well,
being thematic.
please hit on this again.
It's a gift to the community. The whole organization on a daily basis is a gift to the community. This production is next weekend. Yes, we hope you come.
Hope you come. It is free admission with your hometown library card. Library cards will be issued at the door if you don't have one. So if that's something that maybe yours expired, you don't have one, maybe you just recently moved to the area, you can get those. And donations will be accepted for the wonderful work that they do there at our public library. We hope that you'll come down. The Gift and Those Who Gave, written and directed by Connie Gatlin. It's a comedy/drama with music about the history of the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library and there's 3 locations.
Yes, there are.
That's going to be, now all of them will be touched upon in this, right?
Yes, they will.
That's correct.
Okay. I think that's what you guys were telling me a little bit before. Again, give me a website. I know I talked about the website, but I didn't write down the website address to make sure that I get it right.
Don't ask me that.
Don't ask you that? Okay. Well, I'd say if you punch
just
in.
Google.
Yeah, if you punch in Cleveland Bradley County Public Library,
Right.
you're going to
That'll
find
get you
it.
there.
It's going to be right, because that's what I did. So you'll be able to find it right there. Again, these show times are going to be Friday, October the 20th, 7 p.m. That's a week from this Friday, by the way. Saturday, October the 21st, 2 shows, a matinee at 2, and then the evening performance at 7. It's at the wonderful, wonderful University Dixon Center. Free admission, so bring the family out. You'll learn a little bit of history. You'll laugh, maybe cry a little bit. We cry a little bit.
A little sigh.
A little sigh.
Yeah.
And you'll enjoy the music side of it as well, I'm
There
sure.
you go.
All right. Well, ladies, thanks so much for coming in. Apologize for the interruption there with the gremlins in my board here this afternoon. Don't know what that's all about. I guess we got to get that looked at, don't we?
Dwayne, you're so good at this.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the gremlins.
Yeah, I did.
Didn't even notice.
Well, ladies, thanks so much. It was great to have you in this afternoon, and we hope people will come out and support this. It's going to be great. Connie, congratulations on something else.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Stay with us. Mix 104.1 WCLE.